So we're standing in St Andrew's Square outside St Andrew's Cathedral, and we'll be gradually moving over towards the Queen Victoria building in a moment. So who have we got so far? We've got Elizabeth and or Sarah. Hi ladies. Hi Martin, Marge and Marsha. Thanks everyone for coming along today. We got lucky with the weather. It's not raining after all, but it has been. So I lucked out there. Done good. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of a brief overview of the area that I'm standing in. Just as a little bit of an extra treat. This isn't part of the tour, but I might as well orientate you on what's going on around the area. So right behind me here, I've got this big anchor. Let's have a look at it. So that's a sculpture celebrating 150 years of Sydney's designation as a city. And it was presented to the city in 1992. So if you're interested, there's a plaque down here that I can let you have a look at or take a shot of if you'd like. And the artist's name is Ingrid Orfali. I beg your pardon, Orfali. Orfali. So there you go. That's a little bit of extra trivia there for you. And we're standing in between Sydney's Town Hall, which is this one here, undergoing some renovation. There's Clock Tower up the top. So that's Sydney's Town Hall. And on the other side of me, we've got St Andrew's Cathedral, an Anglican cathedral. And I've asked if it would be possible to do tours of the inside of St Andrew's Cathedral. It's quite lovely inside. It's got some beautiful windows. But obviously we can't go in and do that without their permission. It's difficult to see it all here because it's got all these gorgeous jacaranda trees in front of it. But that's the top of the spires there. So that's St Andrew's Cathedral. Just as a little bit of an extra orientation, it's coming up to 2 o'clock on Friday, 4th of February. And we're right in the middle of Chinese New Year, so we've got all these banners. Hi, Kathy. We've got banners. Hi, Rhonda. And this thing here is a temporary installation for Chinese New Year. So this one's obviously... Hi, Renee. Hi, Michael. So it's just explaining that this is one of the... there's a trail that goes up George Street for Chinese New Year. And obviously this represents the rooster sign from the Zodiac. We'll gradually make our way towards the Queen Victoria building. Let's have another look at this old rooster here. There we go, there's the rooster. In front of Sydney Town Hall. Hi Judy, hi Christopher. I'm not sure if I saw you before, Judy. It's starting to spot. I really hope the rain's going to hold for another 3 minutes and 10 seconds till we get inside the Queen Victoria building. Here we go. There's the Sydney Town Hall. It's currently undergoing renovations, so we're not allowed inside there. So unfortunately, I can't give you a tour of the Sydney Town Hall. I am going to pause and get my umbrella out. If you would bear with me for a moment, I'll come over here and put my bag down and get my umbrella out because I just don't like the number of spots I'm getting at the moment. Bear with me. Hi, Bronwyn. It is pretty special, Renee. We tend to take these things for granted in our own city, and I hadn't been there for a long time, so it was a delight. What's with the chicken? Okay, umbrella is up. So this chicken here, sorry, I'm walking backwards into people. This chicken here is a rooster, and it's one of the signs of the zodiac for the Chinese lunar calendar. There's a whole parade of characters up along George Street, which is where we're standing right now. So that's the rooster. Hi, Katie. Hi, Joydell. And I promised you rain, didn't I? I shouldn't have cursed myself. These banners are also for Chinese New Year. I think I'm going to go over and get closer to the front of the building and see if there's something I can stand under. Because we've got wind now as well. Wind and rain aren't fun. Hi, Debbie and Deborah. Just as we walk, I just wanted to turn around and show you quickly. This building over here is being painted and restored at the moment by the City of Sydney. And while they're doing that, they've put this, what do you call it, this banner up over the building. And it's called Ancient Tracks. It's an artwork by Toby Bishop representing the tracks the Indigenous people made across the country over many generations. All right, let's get closer to the Queen Victoria building. I did want to start from a position that was a little away from it so that you can get a sense of what the building is like. This tram's not going anywhere just at the moment. So there's an angry man over there doing a lot of shouting. That's the Queen Victoria building from the side, and it occupies an entire city block. Hi, Laurel. Hi, Camilo. Is it Camilo or Camillo? And hi, Anna. I know you've been on many of my tours, Camilla, and I really should know how to say your name by now. Okay, so we're just waiting for the lights to change. We're 20 seconds into the tour. Yes, there's just no one in the city at the moment. It is really sad. I got that, Christopher. I knew what you meant. Hi, Eva. So before we start, maybe I'll wait till I get to the other side of the road. Here we go. So we're just crossing Druitt Street. Hi, Satyam. Hi, Natalie. Okay, so before we start, I'd like to acknowledge that we are meeting today on the lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging. So there's old Queen Vic, majestically seated on a pedestal outside the Queen Victoria building. And beside her, we have another one of these Chinese symbols from the zodiac, the lunar calendar. So the snake symbol. I'll get a little bit closer to that. I'll come back and have a look at Vic in a moment because I want to tell you where she came from. So that's the snake symbol for the lunar calendar. All right, so Queen Vic, the statue. So I'll show you this one first. I'll read it out to you in case you can't read it. At the request of the City of Sydney, the statue of Queen Victoria was presented by the government and people of Ireland in a spirit of goodwill and friendship. Until 1947, it stood in front of Leinster House, Dublin, the seat of the Irish Parliament. And it was sculpted by John Hughes in Dublin. He lived from 1865 to 1941. So it was unveiled here on the 20th of December 1987, which was a year before our bicentennial. So the plaque on this side describes that the statue of Queen Victoria was located in Ireland, acquired and brought to Sydney by Neil Glasser, Director of Promotions of the Queen Victoria Building. And then we have another plaque over this side, which states that the plaque commemorates the visit to this site by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and His Royal Highness, oops, you can't see that, His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, on the occasion of the bicentenary of Australia on the 4th of May 1988. And to all those people who just joined, thank you, Mike, Helen, Dee, Elise and Fairley. Thanks for joining. I'll just take a step back and show you another glimpse of Queen Victoria before we go inside. Okay, so there she is. Hi, Ahsoka. There she is, seated in front of the building that bears the same name, the Queen Victoria Building. I'm trying to get the dome in at the top for you. It's just not quite getting into shot. It was discovered, well, there were missing years there. That's what I was trying to figure out. So it was in front of the Parliament until 1947 and brought here in 1987. So there's sort of like 40 years missing of its whereabouts now. Eva, we'll get there. That's where we're headed in a moment. But first of all, let me show you.
My name is Isla. I was once the companion and friend of the great Queen Victoria. Because of the many good deeds I've done for the deaf and blind children, I have been given the power of speech. If you cast a coin into the wishing bowl now, I will say, thank you. Thank you. Rap, rap.
Did you like that? It's a little bizarre, really, isn't it? So the plaque's on this statue of Queen Victoria's favourite pet, apparently. Good luck to you, dear giver, and it is more blessed to give than to receive. You're right, it was John Laws. I was trying to figure out. Yes, it was John Laws. John Laws, for anyone who doesn't know, is a octogenarian. Oh, here we go again.
I was once the companion and friend of the great Queen Victoria. Because of the many good deeds I've done for deaf and blind children, I have been given the power of speech. If you cast a coin into the wishing bowl now, I will say, thank you. Thank you. Rap, rap.
There you go. That's Isla. Eiley. Something like that. Okay, so we've met Vic and we've met Eiley. Let's go inside. Once I get undercover, I can put my umbrella down. Okay, let me just sort this umbrella out and then I'll be right with you. 1 second. All right, so this is the entrance from... There's numerous entrances into this building. This is the entrance from Druitt Street and the Town Hall entrance. Right at this entrance here we have a Haig's chocolate shop. And the Queen Victoria Building was built between 1893 and 1898. It was actually officially opened in 1898. And it underwent numerous reinventions, repurposing. Originally it was set up for retail spaces and market-type vendors, tailors. There were even hairdressers, produce. I just want to show you this gorgeous elevator here. We'll go up in one of the elevators in a moment. But over the following, let's say, really only 70-odd years, 70, 75 years, it underwent numerous changes. I just wanted to show you the floors while we're standing here. Gorgeous tile floors. And in the 70s, it had become rather derelict. It was facing demolition. To make matters worse, there was a bombing one block away at the Hilton Hotel, which was hosting the Commonwealth Heads of Government regional meeting at the time. It was in 1978. And do you know what? I'm actually still unclear as to who did it and why, but there was left and right and far right and perhaps some Irish involvement, and one person was arrested and then another person were arrested, and there were several court cases over the whole thing. But the upshot of it all was that all the glass in this building was shattered in the bomb blast, and it almost sealed the fate of the building. And at one time, it was destined for demolition. So we'll just slowly walk along, admiring the floors and the metalwork on the balustrades.
So then I'll get an idea.
So in the mid-80s, there was a Malaysian company called Ipoh Holdings. I think some of you may know that there's a city in Malaysia called Ipoh. Ipoh Holdings don't know if they actually bought the building, but they took on responsibility of refurbishing it and bringing it back to its former glory. Now, of course, the building is heritage listed and managed by the City of Sydney. So we have this beautiful wrought ironwork on the balustrades. That's a new shop being set up over here. Mainly on this level, we've got fashion. So I'm not going to spend too much time looking at fashion stores, but some of you ladies might appreciate this store on my right here. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Diana. So that's a shop you'll never find me in. Look at that. Jimmy Choo. Something I'll never own is a pair of Jimmy Choos. Jimmy Choo. Oh, I don't even think they put their prices on the shoes. I think that the mantra is if you have to ask, you can't afford it, isn't it? Is that what they say? So this is the centre of the building. And once again, we've got these gorgeous, gorgeous tile floors. And we've got entrances on both sides of the building here. This is the centre of the building. So we've got the George Street entrance over this side. And then in behind me, this is the York Street entrance with the beautiful staircases going up on either side. So we've got escalators behind me and these gorgeous staircases. Now I'm probably going to do this more than once, but we're going to tilt upwards and have a look at the roof. So just a warning in case anyone doesn't like this particular effect. So you can see we're on the ground floor. That's the first floor up there. Then we go up to the second floor. Oh, no worry. No problem, Bronwyn. I will try and do this tour again. Absolutely. There we go. So that's the centre of the dome, the main dome. And we'll do this again from upstairs. But right from the middle here is really actually the most central point to get the best angle. I don't know about you, but I'm getting dizzy looking up there. So we'll come back down again. All right. So we'll take a stroll up this end and find an elevator to go up. We'll look at some shops, but I just don't want to spend too much time looking at shops. That's not the reason we're here. You know, we've got Coach handbags over this side. I mean, the shop fronts themselves are gorgeous. With the coloured glass. Up above us at this point, we've got one of the gorgeous clocks, and we're going to get up to a better position to actually appreciate that clock from a much better angle. Right, up ahead here, we've got one of the many coffee refreshment venues. Hi, Paul. Hi, Neil. Hi, Sue. So I don't know if you're noticing the names of the shops as we go past, but one of them, that's a fine diamond shop. Over here we have Longjing. Is that how you pronounce it? I think that's how you pronounce it. We're in the Queen Victoria building, Helen, which is in the centre of Sydney. And it's a rather lovely shopping centre. So this is the exit out to, oh, I think it's Market Street at this point. Look at the rain. I'm very glad I came inside when I did. Again, this gorgeous staircase, but we're going to take the lift up. Okay. So I called the lift. I'm pretty sure our signal is going to be absolutely fine. We're only going up 2 floors. We may get a chance to have a look out through the screens here as we go up. Why isn't it going anywhere? I pressed that. I wasn't assertive enough. All right. So here we are up on the second floor. Ah, didn't give me much time. Up on this level, we've got this, I think, is a bar. Not open at the moment. So we've got these lovely arches here. So the whole restoration has been done sympathetic to its era. And for anyone who was on my Strand arcade tour the other day, it's actually very similar in a lot of ways to the Strand arcade, but of course, the Strand, it never stopped being open, whereas this one closed down for many years. So we can see from here, we're now looking down not only to the first floor and the ground floor, but there's a basement level here as well. Hi, Camilla. And from the basement, the arcades actually spread out to other points of the city. So there's quite a network of basement level arcade through the city. This place sells chess sets as well as lovely scarves. We've got a lovely jeweler here. But we're making our way towards one of the clocks. The beautiful tiles have been replaced by a beautiful carpet. And while we're here, we'll just have a look up and see the roof of the building, which is all iron and glass. Hi, Brina. Hi, Lorna, beg your pardon. So it's naturally lit predominantly, but it also is. There's also electric lighting, of course, as well. You can actually see the silhouette of one of the domes out there. And that shop is obviously being refitted. So this is one of the clocks. Stunningly beautiful clock. And what it represents is not actually made of stone. That'd be far too heavy, but it's made to look like it's been carved from sandstone. I'm going to move away from the power drill. Try and find a better angle for you. So what we can see on the clock is that it's depicting the date, the day of the week, the hour and the minute, and also scenes from early settlement. So we have both colonial and Indigenous scenes all the way around the clock. And then the top is actually, I think it's 23 karat gold plate. I'll find a really good position to get you a vertical shot so you can see the whole thing. At various points around the clock, you can also see small characters and various beach scenes. So that one there says Cape Howe, and then next to it, I can't quite read the one that's next to it. Now, the interesting thing is that I tried to get some information from the concierge about this clock to give you more detail. I said, have you got a leaflet? Have you got any information on it? Is there anywhere I can go and look it up? I think they actually try to sell you tours, and that's where they give the information. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Christine. So when we get up to the other end here, I'll take a vertical shot so that you can actually see the whole thing. At this point here, we've got another cafe just down below us. I think that one's called the Tea Room. Lovely place to have tea. Sorry, Camilla, I'm not sure I understand your question. Chance Horizons. Could you ask me again? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me. All right, so at this point here, I'm actually going to turn the view sideways. So for anyone who needs warning about that, I'm going to do that in 1, 2, 3. So there you get the whole clock in full view. I'm going to turn back again now in 1, 2, 3. And then we've got another cafe up here, but we'll go around to the other side of the clock. So where you can see that marker there, that's actually showing you, that's the date and time right now. Can you see the marker there? You're welcome, Fairly. Yes, it definitely works better in a portrait orientation, doesn't it? So yes, it's showing you here that it's Friday the 4th, and it's I just saw it turn. I'm having trouble with my Roman numerals. But we get another scene here. That one's more of a traditional Indigenous family scene. And then this one around this side kind of shows, it says, this one's very sad. This one says the taking of the children. Does anyone not know the story of the stolen generations? I'm happy to explain it to anyone who doesn't know that story. It's a very sad part of Australia's history. Hi, John. All right. Does anyone want any more shots of this clock before we move on to another part of? It is Eva. Hi, Hayden. Okay, Christopher. So, Aboriginal children were basically stolen from their families. They were more or less forced to be white. So they were adopted into white families. Their original language was forbidden. They were educated in white schools, forced to wear colonial clothing, and forced to never see their families ever again. It was known as the stolen generation. I can't tell you exactly what dates that happened between. There's an excellent movie called Rabbit Proof Fence, which is a really good place to start. It's quite faithful because it's based around an actual family. So that actually depicts a family of three young girls who were taken from their family and then actually made their way back to their family following the rabbit proof fence. There's another mention of the stolen generation in The Sapphires. And there's another third movie which is quite good called Brand New Day. All those movies have some reference to the stolen generation. Kevin Rudd apologised on behalf of Australia to the Indigenous people for the stolen generation. Oh, Ahsoka, I'm really sorry to hear that. Yes, I did hear some of that Canadian story, which was equally awful. Okay, so we're back to the dome, and we're going to have another look upwards before going on and seeing the second clock. So at this point here, you can actually see down through the centre well, down to that ground floor where we stood before on that square looking upwards. I get a bit nervous about leaning over these types of spaces, but here it's probably a good spot to view it from. And now I'm gradually going to pan upwards from this point. We'll get a glimpse of some stained glass windows. We'll come back to those. Okay, so we'll get another shot of the dome. You get to see the stained glass a bit more clearly from this point. Here we go. Okay, I'm coming back down. 3, 2, 1. We'll come back via the spiral staircase in the corner. That'd be quite a climb, wouldn't it? Okay, so behind me we have one set of stained glass windows, and then we're going to go over and have a look at those other ones we just saw. Difficult, really, to interpret without having a little bit of assistance. And then That's the full view. Thanks, Fairly. That's the full view of the window. Oh, you can see people. You can see the tram going past. All right, we're going to go over and have a look at the other stained glass. Oh, actually, no. First of all, we'll look at the other clock. Then we'll have a look at the other stained glass window. Just before we do, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see this. It's not lit up, but it says it's the Queen's letter placed on public viewing on the occasion of. No, it wasn't her visit. Let's have a look. What does she say? I may have to read it to you. The Right Honourable the Lord Mayor of Sydney, Australia, greetings on a suitable day to be selected by you in the year 2085 AD. Would you please open this envelope and convey to the citizens of Sydney my message to them? Oh, okay, so there's something inside there that we don't know. We don't know the message. And we'll all be long gone by then. Bit of a mystery, isn't it? Thanks, Debbie. I'm getting better at it. I know I was a bit alarming when I first started doing this. So this is the royal clock, and it was made by the clockmakers to the royal family. It depicts Windsor Castle, and during normal times on the hour, characters come out and they do a loop around. I think it's the top, but it's not doing it at the moment because of COVID. So we get to miss out on that, which is a bit of a shame. But that's called the royal clock. And I'll come around this side so you can get a bit of a better look at it. Oh, actually, here it is. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? There's a window there. Of course, that's where they come out. So all we have at the moment is a reflection of me. That would be where the animated clockwork characters parade on the hour. And for anyone who likes Dr. Seuss, this is a Dr. Seuss shop. There we go. Lots of things Seussian. We'll just take one last shot of the royal clock before we head over and look at the other stained glass windows. Okay, so there's the royal clock there. Do you need I don't know if you need an atom shot of this one, do you? It's sort of perfectly captured in frame. The only reason to do it would be to see the arcade down below. Let's have one quick atom shot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to be coming back again in 1, 2, 3. Who was with me the other day when we were admiring Ugg boots in Paddy's Market? I think these Ugg boots might be just a little bit more expensive than the ones we saw the other day. I think it was someone by the name of Ali, was it, perhaps? Look at those little baby ones. They're so cute. Okay, and I love that backpack. Oh, wouldn't be very practical in this weather though. Here we go. There's a little sheep's wool alpaca, which kind of doesn't sound quite right, really, does it? But they're a sheep's wool alpaca. Oh, the rain's getting heavier and heavier, and I've got to go out in it. Never mind. This display is to do with. It's to do with. Let me see. Dedicated to the 96 Australians who have won the Victoria Cross. And it was unveiled on October 31st, 1986. So it's really just honouring people who have served and received the Victoria Cross. There's something about the Victoria Cross over here. Okay, I'll let you take a I'll let you take a postcard of that you can come back to later and read about it at your own leisure. I'm going to take one more shot here before we head downstairs, just because I love the iron lacework and the tile floor. Okay, moving on. We're going to walk downstairs, and as you all know by now, I'm not very good with stairs, so I'm going to take it really slowly, but that gives you an opportunity to admire these beautiful windows as I go. So these ones are framed by granite columns. Okay, we're turning a corner now. There's a man sitting at the bottom of these stairs. I should have turned left instead of right. Sorry about the blue wall for a second. It won't last long. Okay, let me just take a shot across here because we've got some interesting angles going on with the all the columns and arches and stairs. Okay. And I'll take another one looking back up towards that window. So this is open to the outdoors here. There's one shot with the windows. We're just going to go around the other side of this arch. Bear with me. Okay. There we go. As I said, I just like all the different angles, the arches. This one here. Now here we've got the centre circular balustrade. And I'm just going to move to a position where we can get I just realised I'm not wearing my mask and there's an announcement going out about wearing masks. Okay, so that's basically the Queen Victoria building. We'll do a little walk along the middle level because we haven't done that yet, just for a different perspective of the royal clock. Once more. Yeah, there is, but hopefully they don't do it in this scenario. People have gotten into trouble. There are fines. I've got it on my wrist, in fact. How silly is that? You mean I've got it there? You just get so distracted doing. I was just waiting for that lady to move out of the way. You get so distracted and doing other things, you forget. I really should put it on. I made this one myself. You can see my ugly sewing skills when I sign off. All right. Doing this one-handed. There. There's another shot of the Australia clock. Just have a look at a few shop fronts as we walk past. This one's called Helen Kaminsky, and it looks like she does hats. Hats and bags. I like that bag. They're nice. And then this one does cashmere. All very expensive clothes. You can imagine what the rents would be like in this place. Thanks, Michael. Hi, Pam. I'm really sorry you've joined us right at the last minute, but I'll get you one shot of the clock before I finish up. Okay. So this is the clock that we came here to see. Right, I'm going to get up here near the escalators, and then I'll say goodbye to you all. It's another coffee shop with lots of lovely cakes here. That's a good way to finish a tour, isn't it? Look at the cakes. Oh, yum. Look at this one. They look amazing. That looks like a black forest cake. Oh, lemon meringue pie. Yummo. And on that note, with my battery signal just coming up, we have Cheesecake Factory too. There's more for takeaway. I mean, it's more for taking it away to have for a family function sort of thing. Okay, let's turn around. Thanks, Jill. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the QVB. We'll definitely come back again. It's a great place to come on a rainy day, and please enjoy the rest of your day. So see you next week, guys, and have a great rest of your day wherever you happen to be. Bye for now.